Hello. What are you doing?
It was painting. It was a painting.
We're back. It's been a month. What are you checking to see if you
It was
see
a
us?
painting. No, it was a painting video.
Okay. It's been a month, Hannah.
That was
A month away. Miss y'all. We're back to feeling almost normal. We're going to talk about what we've been through, and I'm sure a lot of you around the Southeast have been through this too, along with us, and some of you probably even worse than us. But we're going to talk about where we've been, what we've been through in the past month, and we're really not playing trivia tonight because we have a lot of stuff to share with y'all, and hope y'all stick around, and we hope y'all are all doing well as well also. So tell us something good. If you have some good news or a celebration, share it and put it in the chat. If you have a countdown, share that. We have a tiny little countdown. I don't have a cruise countdown, Hannah. I've finally gotten to the point where I don't have a cruise countdown anymore. You wonder what we have a little countdown.
I was like, what is the little countdown? I'm just sitting here.
It's a little countdown.
I'm just sitting here going, we have nothing planned.
I usually have like 2 or 3 cruises booked, and I just finished my last cruise that's on my list.
No, we have no flights, no cruises.
No flights, no cruises, but
that may change this week.
This is true. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm kind of wanting, before I even jump in to plan another vacation, I want life to get back to normal. And like I said, we're going to talk about all of that.
Is there such thing as normal?
But if you do have something to celebrate, please put it in the chat. If you have a countdown, we do want to celebrate with you. We'll be jealous, but we want to celebrate with you. I know Mary Ellen's got a countdown.
It's right there.
She always has good countdowns. Mary Ellen probably has like at least 6 countdowns going on at one time. That's what my guess is. She probably has more. I don't know. So, I guess our good news is we just got back from vacations.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that a little bit more tonight about where we went. We did not go together. And what we did and all that. Those of you that don't know that I am a travel agent, and I got an email the other day. We love Disney. We do love Disney. We love Disneyland and Disney World, and I got an email from Disney, and it says that there's a new Lightning Lane Premier Pass. I'm starting to get. I feel like Disney's changing the Lightning Lane Genie passes and all that so much that everybody's getting confused.
I mean, we just got used to understanding a little bit about the Lightning Lane and Genie Plus with Disneyland, and that took a little bit of explaining and research on our part to the point that people were asking us in the parks, how do you do this?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, and we had to teach people. Do you remember, like, there was that family at the beginning? They were like, how do we book a Lightning Lane?
Yeah.
Because in Disneyland, it's different from Disney World.
Yeah.
In Disneyland, you can't book Lightning Lanes until you scan your ticket and you're in the park.
And for those of you that explain what a Lightning Lane is, so once
upon a time, there was a thing called Fast Passes, and Fast Passes were available to everyone. They were Fast Pass machines where they handed you like physical tickets. Like, you would put in your ticket, you would get like a Fast Pass ticket.
You didn't have to pay for them.
You didn't have to pay for them. And then Disney World turned into digital Fast Passes with the Magic Band system, and you would just go to their Fast Passes, or you would reserve online through the app.
And you get to go through a different lane to get on a ride that's faster, a faster way to get on the rides.
But I believe it was after COVID, or the CocoRoro, that they changed their system to the Genie Plus system, which they canceled out Fast Passes for the parks in the United States. I don't know what other
and you had to pay for Genie Plus.
And you have to pay for Genie Plus, and it's not like you get a Fast Pass, or like what basically Fast Pass is equivalent to Lightning Lane. Just understand that you now have to pay for Genie Plus to get the Lightning Lanes. But they have their own set of rules, like Disneyland's Lightning Lanes. You couldn't use it until you scanned it into the park. Disney World, it's like 7 a.m. the day of your ticket or something.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of set of rules.
It's confusing.
Yeah. Well, now they've added another level of confusion.
So it's called the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. And they don't tell you the price because it depends on the day of the park. So they don't tell you a set price. So Disneyland is actually a little better deal. You can only purchase it 2 days in advance of your reservation because now you have to make reservations to go to the parks. So you can
and that
only
was a thing they put in after the Coco Row.
Yeah, to kind of calm the crowds a little bit.
And Disneyland was
yeah, it didn't really work. But the Lightning Lane Plus is a lot of money, apparently. I saw a TikTok today that explained some prices they were seeing for Disney World, and we're talking $200, $300 a park. But for Disneyland, yes.
Per day.
At Disneyland, if you get the Lightning Lane Plus, you have to purchase it only can purchase it 2 days in advance. It's not guaranteed that you're going to get one. There's limited numbers. And you can use, there's only 2 parks at Disneyland, so you can use it in both parks. So if you're hopping from one park to the other, but it lets you get on in the Lightning Lane, which is the quicker way to get to the ride, one time for each ride that has lightning lanes. So like if you want to do Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, then you only get to use it one time for that day. And then you have to purchase it again for the next day.
And it's just making me look back. Like Disneyland, it sounds like we're most likely going to go to Disneyland before we go back to Disney World.
Yeah.
But Disneyland, like the parks are walking distance from each other, the 2 parks. But Disney World, you have to hop on buses and stuff. And
how many parks does Disney World have?
It has 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, and the downtown area, Disney Springs.
So for Disney World, the rules are different. You have to first of all stay on property at a deluxe resort
for the premier
pass to even purchase it, and you can purchase it 7 days in advance or higher as far as the villas and all that stuff. So you have to be at a high-end resort.
Very expensive.
Very expensive. And plus, you only get to use it in one park a day.
Which is like a lot of people have park hoppers.
Yeah.
So that just negates the purpose of a park hopper.
It's like,
yeah, and it's making me realize.
I don't think I would do it. I don't know.
It's making me realize, and I hope I don't speak this into like non-existence. It's just making me realize that Universal Studios is a much better deal.
Yeah, what they call it,
it's the Lowe's Resorts. Lowe's Resorts, they have
express passes.
They have the express passes, which you can, if you stay at the Lowe's Resorts, those are the higher pricing
Hard Rock
resorts.
Yeah.
It was like, what is it? Pacific,
Hard Rock, and
I forget
the other one.
But then there's the new one next to Epic Universe.
Yeah.
That is also going to be a Lowe's Resort, and that will also give their
that was a good value to me.
Give their guests the express passes, and the express passes, like on the day of check-in, you will get an express pass. So if you're like, hey, I'm checking in, and you get there at like 9 a.m. and your room's not ready, you can put your bags away and you get an express pass and go into the park.
You can walk through to almost all the rides. Almost all of them.
There's like 2 or 3 maybe that you can't do, but for that pass, you can do it a lot more times. It's not just like one. And it's just making me realize that
Universal has better deals.
My kids will probably go.
So, but we are taking a different approach tonight, kind of skipping over that topic now, and we'll talk about where have we been, what have we been through, and hope y'all stick around. We're not going to be totally sad or anything or negative about things. We've had some good moments too throughout this, and a lot of people checked on us. We're going to talk about going through Hurricane Helene, and we just appreciate all of y'all that, messaged us through Facebook. And, I got an email from Cheryl and Ed. I mean, just the sweetest things, and we appreciate y'all. It was a rough week, I guess, with us, but we'll talk about all that.
I mean, there's still people in our area that don't have power.
We're not wanting you to feel sorry for us, because there are a lot of people that are a lot worse off or went through a lot worse stuff than us. So next week we are going to be doing something fun. Hannah's going to be charged with trivia.
Some sort of trivia.
Huh?
Some sort of trivia.
Yeah, probably fall related kind of trivia. And then we're going to do a giveaway next week, because we did reach 2,200 subscribers. Thank y'all for subscribing. And so we'll do a giveaway next week for that. And then we do have one little thing coming up. We're going to go see something this weekend on Sunday. It's called Anne Juliet. We saw this musical in New York, Loved it so much. Ranked it in our top 3.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen a lot of musicals. And now it's on tour. And really, honestly, as soon as we got back, a couple weeks later, we bought the tickets.
Yeah, we knew it was going on tour, and they actually announced like the week after we got back, the week we got back, that one of the girls that we saw in the ensemble is going to be Juliet.
Yeah, she was fabulous.
And so she is going to be the Juliet on tour, and we're really excited to go see it, and we're bringing family and friends.
Yeah, there's other people going with us, so it'll be it's a girls' trip.
Mm-hmm.
It's out of town, but we're not spending the night. We're just going to go for the day.
So if it's coming into your town,
yes,
and you like Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys music,
jukebox musical,
go see it. It's fun.
Yeah, it's so fun. I mean, we talked
about if you like Schitt's Creek.
Yes, it's written by the same people that wrote Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, you're gonna like this. Yeah, it's really funny.
But yeah, I don't think I've laughed as much during a musical as I did for that one.
I was crying. It was so funny.
It was so funny.
Yeah. Anyways,
let's say hi to everybody in the chat. All these wonderful people here. We appreciate that. So Blaine says, good evening, all. Driving and listening from Bluffton, South Carolina, heading home. Good to see you, Blaine. Glad you're listening to us. And there's Miss Mary Ellen Dillon. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. And there's Cheryl and Ed. Speaking of Cheryl and Ed, hey there. Good to see y'all. And glad you're doing okay. We missed you guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And there's Miss Beautiful Meg. Meg reached out to me while we were gone on our cruise. Good to see you, Meg. And Meg has, I'm not going to say all your business, but congratulations. You have a promotion. I've been told by you. She's going to Florida in 6 days. Very nice. What you doing in Florida? You just going to see the beach, or what you doing, Meg?
She says 9 days to my next, and she meant to say side to side.
Side to side instead of back to back. Side to side as I'm going to get on one ship, and then when I get off, I'm getting on a different ship. So that's awesome. That just makes traveling to the port so much easier, knowing you're going to get on another ship. So something good. We just got Halloween themed sundaes at the local ice cream stand. Yum. Yep. Hannah loves all things Halloween.
This is Halloween.
Hello, Nick. Good to see you. Yes, we are safe, and we missed you too. We missed everybody.
So
what?
Nick yesterday, he says that he has a problem because he is purchasing the Wicked stuff that's coming out. And I said to my mother, a Christmas present idea. It's a Wicked purse. It's a Wicked purse.
From maybe Santa Claus
from Hot Topic. But I showed so we'll talk about this. But Jarrell and I just got back from a stay in the mountains yesterday, and we've been there before. We have a video about this specific place in the cabin we stayed at and stuff. But we went to a thrift store. And we went to a thrift store in Blue Ridge, and I found a Wicked Witch of the West nutcracker.
Did you send a picture to Nick?
I sent a picture to Nick. Yes, I did. And he also said, our title of our live stream says, "Where have we been?" And now all I can hear is Mrs. Weasley from Harry Potter go, "Where have you been?
Where have we been?
No notes card on. You could have died."
148 days until the Sun Princess with Dawn Terrace. Nick, is that what cruise ship you're going on? Is he going on the Sun Princess? Yes, he is. A lot of people have been doing the Sun Princess. 19-ish hours until he goes to Fort Lauderdale. 1.5 days until the Sun Princess, and 36 days till the Wicked movie.
Wicked.
36 days. We're going to go, what did I say, November 24th? I was taking tally today of everybody who wants to go because I'm going to go ahead and pre-purchase the tickets. So. Hello, Will Cooper. Good to see you. Can you tell we're Wicked fans? I hope everybody, after watching the movie, fall in love with it like we fell in love with it.
I saw something that was so funny. It was like all the Ariana Grande fans when they're in the theater with all the musical theater nerds. And it's all the people trying to do
defying gravity.
the witch's wail, and it's like It's just really funny.
Hello, Ricky Ocean. Let me holla at you. Hope all is well. Yeah, all is well now. We're good. And forget Disney. I'll just cruise. You don't have to think about it for a cruise. Disney's making me think too much now.
No, people are like, I'm going to have an Excel spreadsheet. It's like, I'm going to have therapy sessions.
That doesn't sound like vacation to me.
It doesn't.
No. I don't want to think about much. Please remember to hit thumbs up. Thank you, Meg. Appreciate that. Well, hello, Marsha Gozier. We miss you.
We're good.
Yeah, I hope your family is well, Marsha, for sure. Congratulations on your promotion, Meg. Absolutely. So we want to recognize in the chat, we have Blaine and we have Meg, and they are moderators, and we appreciate that very much. If you are a creator, please put #creator in the chat, and that way other people that may not know will now know that you have a YouTube channel, and they can follow you as well. So let's just talk about where have we been. As my mother would say, to HE double hockey sticks and back. But we made it through, God willing. All right, we're going.
Again, we had it easy.
We had it easy, y'all. Compared to others, we're not complaining at all about what we've been through.
Where have you been?
So first of all, I definitely want to say that all of these states are in our prayers that got affected by Helene and Milton. I think I got them all. I can't see because of
Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida.
Yeah, if I'm missing your state and you got some part of that storm, I'm sorry about that. But we have definitely been praying for everyone. A lot of them are still not functioning, or are suffering. We are not suffering at all. But we just want to say that if you were affected during either one of the storms, that you are in our thoughts and prayers, and we hope everything gets back to normal for you as well. So I had, that whole week was a blur to me for some reason. So I just went through my Facebook post and just kind of looked at different things.
Okay, so it wasn't, okay. I looked at you and I was like, I don't think it's a good idea for me to be at your house. No, because I was talking with my manager, who is one of the sweetest humans ever. And I was like, how bad is this storm going to be? And she was like, I don't know when it's supposed to start, but it's supposed to be like very bad. And I called you and I was like, I don't think it's a good idea for me to be over there.
So this post was on Thursday, the 26th. And we were just, it had already started raining. It rained hard that day.
Thursday, it was
raining.
Bad.
And it was just like buckets of rain coming down.
Yeah.
We had like a little stream going in our backyard, which happens when it rains here. And so I posted this, picture of the radar, what it will look like at the moment. And I said, I just didn't want Hannah traveling at our house. I wanted her to stay at her house and I'd be on the road. And so we canceled our live stream on the 26th. But they were saying here, because I'm a very big girl about watching the weather app, the Weather Channel app, and looking at things. And they were saying 35 to 45 mile per hour winds. So I'm like, just make sure the dogs go out before we go, late before we go to bed, even though it's pouring rain, and, just hunker down, take the umbrella out of the table on the deck.
Make sure your phones are charged.
Yeah, make sure your phones are charged. We did all that and thinking, we'll be fine in the morning. And then I wake up, and this was my post the next morning. It's like, well, this just proves that my husband can sleep through anything. How is he sleeping through this?
She posted that, and I called her.
I posted that like at 3:30 in the morning because William was sleeping. The power went out. So William's still sleeping. My dogs, which I have a Chihuahua, y'all. My dog was slept through the whole thing. But I'm hearing things fall on our roof, which we've had storms and wind before. We have a lot of trees around our house. And I'm like, this is just the 35 to 45 mile an hour winds. And then after I posted this, I'm just, going through my phone. I have no power and I'm staying in my bed just because they're all sleeping. If I move, they'll all get up. And all of a sudden I heard boom, and the bed and the floor, it did that. And I was like, what was that? And it was pitch black dark. I'm not opening the doors. And I was like, it's kind of like, wait until the morning comes kind of thing to see what the heck that was. And, and I'm like, okay. And then I thought, we only have one spot in our house that has no exterior walls, and that's our half bath. And I thought, should I go wake them up and go get in the half bath? And I didn't. And we have a big old window in our bedroom. And I was like, nah, it's just 35 to 45 mile-an-hour winds. Yeah. So I was like, nah. And then finally, William got up about 5. And he said, I can't see anything. And we just kind of stayed in the bedroom. We didn't go. Our living room and dining room has a lot of windows, a lot. And I was like, I'm not going out there. So we just stayed there. Dog slept through the whole thing.
Well, I woke up at 4 because I was asleep on the couch because my couch is comfortable. and I fell asleep on my couch.
You have a big window right there, too.
Well, then all of a sudden, I heard the wind. And I was not sleeping well because I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden it sounded like a train coming through. And I said, oh, no. Yeah. And in the South, it is said that if you hear a train coming through and you're not near train tracks, you need to hunker down. Yeah. Because that means that a tornado is nearby. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, no. And so I grabbed Sally. I grab a pillow and a blanket. I go into my hallway and we are just laying there. Yeah. And then I was just on Facebook and I saw you posted that and I called you. Mama! You're like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm in the hallway.
I'm still in the bedroom. And we're not making light of this, y'all. It's just like either you cry or laugh kind of thing with us. So it was just
this is hotness.
So then
you next?
Yeah, you can. So then William, the daylight came and no power, of course. And William he gets up and he says, I'm gonna go look, and the wind is still going. It's still going when the sun started coming up. And he's like, I'm going to go look and see because I told him something fell. He goes, I'm going to go look and see what fell. And when he went to the back door to see our backyard, all I heard was, oh, starts with the S, ends with the T.
Spit.
Spit, yes. Spit. And I went out there, and our backyard is like simply just like some bushes and a bunch of grass. You could not even see the grass. The whole yard was covered with limbs and some trees, and I mean, some parts of trees. It was just like, what just happened? And and I was like, oh my gosh. And then my husband decides that he needs to go outside. I said, get back in here, because it was still going. Mm-hmm. And so then he goes to the front and look at the neighbors, and they have like trees on their houses and
trees in the road.
I mean, nobody's going anywhere. So yeah. And then we got this thing was posted by Weather Channel.
And this is not even accurate.
That's us right there.
Oh, well, what I'm saying is that we had in my neighborhood 89 miles per hour winds.
Yeah.
And in Augusta, they had 115.
So we are where it says 100 miles an hour plus with the pink line, that is us. So that's what, and they said on this weather app, this weather report, that it sat on top of us for 60 minutes, which is insane. So the fact that I felt stupid that I didn't take it as seriously.
I was in the hallway.
I wasn't in the hallway. I should have been in the half bath of my
I had my cat, and every time she would go near the windows, I was like, get your butt back here.
They said that just, I know the airport clocked 89 at Augusta Airport, but this little pink line, I'm pointing at the computer like I know I'm talking about, the pink line was us. So we're like the furthest, we're so inland from South Carolina. I mean, we're
touching Georgia.
Yeah, we're right by Georgia. So you just don't expect a hurricane to come through our town. So, but yeah, so that what we were hearing was over 100 mile per hour winds for 60 minutes. Mm-hmm. It was crazy.
Yeah. And then, is it next?
So then my mama calls me. Yeah, my mama calls me, and she's like, "Do you have power?" No. And her neighborhood was so much worse than our neighborhood. I mean, my mother was graced by God that day because she lives in a cul-de-sac
surrounded by trees.
Surrounded by trees. Every single house in her cul-de-sac had at least 2 trees on it. One of them had 5. My mother has 0 trees on her house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think God was with everybody.
It's kind of hard to tell, but there's a bunch of trees down right there.
Yeah. So the first picture is the top of a tree from hers that fell on her back fence. And then the second picture is what my backyard looked like when we woke up.
The front is bushes. The back's supposed to be grass. Those are trees.
Yeah. So they're grass. You can't see the grass. The only thing we did not have, blessing. It's a blessing. We did not have trees on any of our houses. Hannah's, mine, or my mom's. And that, if y'all have seen the rest of this town, that's a miracle for us.
I didn't tell you what happened with Zach, did I?
Mm-hmm.
So let me just tell you, one of my coworkers, he has young kids, and it was during the night, and God watched over his family too.
He has a lot of little ones.
Because what happened was he was woken up by his youngest son, and his youngest son came in and woke him up and said, "Daddy, there's tree in my hair."
Oh, I heard that.
And
my sister told me that.
And he goes, "What do you mean there's tree in your hair?" He said, "The tree came through the ceiling."
Oh my gosh.
And the tree was on his roof, broke through his roof, but did not come through, thank God, because it was hanging over that baby's bed, and it got in his hair.
So, but yeah, let's look at the comments for just a minute. Hey, Paul. I see Paul's here.
Paul and Ocean.
And Bruce and Cindy. Hey there.
Boop, 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 boop. Oh, there.
Yeah.
There's Paul. Then she said, "Oh, William."
I was talking to my sister. My sister lives in a mobile home, and she was across the river in Evans. And I was talking to her to make sure she was okay. And they, besides their yard, their house was good. Just no power, no water for a long time. She had to go stay with somebody else. But Hannah had no power and no water. So Hannah and Sally Cat came over here. Mimi had no power, and Mimi doesn't cook, so she had no food. So Mimi and her dog came over here. So for a week, we had
4 humans.
3 dogs. 3 dogs and a cat.
Cat.
And then we also had Jarrell and his brother sometimes for dinner. We were blessed because we had a hot water heater that was gas, so we could have hot showers. And we also had a gas stove, so I could cook on the stove. And we also had a, what's that thing he's got? Blackstone? Yeah. And so we were able to cook on that too. So if we're going to eat, we're going to feed others. So that's how we did it.
And we were trying to get through the food before it went bad.
Yeah. Because we had no power for a week. We ended up having to throw away a lot of food.
Yeah.
Meg said God was watching over. You can't hardly see what this picture is, but Hannah gave me this thing.
It's a coffee pot.
It's a coffee pot that
it's a pour over.
Yeah, you pour the hot water, and I had a kettle and I had a gas stove, and I was able to. Y'all, I'm a coffee girl. I mean, like mornings and without coffee is not a good lorry. And I was so glad Hannah gave me this thing. It came from Amazon. But honestly, you just
put the grounds on top. You heat up water, and then it's pour over in a circle. It's a very thin filter.
Yeah. So yeah,
we had coffee.
That was just another blessing to have coffee. So then we had to cancel on October 3rd. I had to pull up these things because I couldn't remember that week was a blur. And I said we're on day 7. This was a Thursday. We didn't have live stream then. But the blessing was on that evening we got power.
You got power.
I got power.
Mimi and I were still without power.
They didn't have power. And we were leaving for our group cruise on October 7th. And so the first thing I did started washing clothes because all of us in the house.
It was gross.
It was gross, y'all. It was just like I stripped beds because we were sweating because it was hot at night. And we put sheets over the couches because everybody was sweaty because it was hot. And we had the windows open, but it was still hot in the house because those were some hot days anyway. But I just started washing. I counted, I did 14 loads of laundry.
Well, actually, to sidestep that, just a quick detour. thankfully, my office, the place I work at, we couldn't work for in the office for 3 days,
Mhm.
3 business days. And we're all trying to be as flexible as we can. Some people left town,
to go work, like at a family's house. So they have internet stuff.
Yeah. And I love my work. So when we found out that they had power, I was like, they had power 3 or 4 days before we got power.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, thank God. So I would take all our stuff and go charge it.
Yeah.
I had
our power banks and stuff.
At the office, I would go charge stuff, get some AC. But my boss actually bought a generator for the office to see if he can get the office running. But then the power miraculously came back on, and so he let us borrow the generator.
So the last night before we had power, the Wednesday night, October 2nd, we had generators, so we had fans, and that was such a blessing. Yeah. We had fans and a lamp. Y'all know how you feel. I like get so much done at night. I'm a busy bee at night. And it's like when the sun went down, you were powerless. Like there was nothing to do. And we were all just kind of like, might as well go to sleep. I mean, it was just like.
But we woke up at 6 a.m.
Yeah, as soon as it's all the daylight, we're up. We're like, thank God for daylight. But Hannah had no water because they had a water main break too. Went into her neighborhood.
Yeah.
So my sister had no water because she has a well,
and that requires electricity.
And so she actually went to some friend's house that had power. And like I said, maybe it was with us because she had no food. Yeah. And plus she couldn't cook anyway. She has an electric stove, so it worked. So
yeah. But again, we are very lucky.
Oh yeah. We're blessed. Yeah. We're not complaining about it. It was actually you go through something like that, it's like you appreciate the blessings and you appreciate things that you have that you take for granted.
Yes.
Like power.
Your family
for sure.
Yeah.
And there were days I was ready to take a break from people.
It wasn't me.
William and I one night at 10. Oh, it was having trouble getting gasoline
and ice.
My cousin is a regional manager for the Metro Diner, and he was like, "We have power. There's power in Aiken, South Carolina." And so William was able to go up there and fill up our ice chest with ice, a big one. And ice was just such a blessing. And also when we went there, they gave him a big old box of frozen Italian bread because we ate a lot of sandwiches.
And and you were thankful for your neighbors because we would share stuff.
Oh yeah, because yeah. And then the first time he went up there to get ice, they gave him a pan of bacon.
Yeah.
And we're all like, bacon!
Not me.
And we had a ton of tomatoes for some reason. I bought a ton before all that happened. So we had tomato and bacon sandwiches. I like, these are the best tomato and bacon sandwiches ever. But yeah, and so we would come home with the bread and the ice and try to share it with everybody, and if somebody was trying to cook stuff out of their freezer or whatever, and I made spaghetti one night and you can't keep anything cool, you have to eat it or it goes away. So we were all just sharing food. We love our neighbors and we just had a great experience with everybody.
It shows you the sense of community because when somebody found gas, they were like, do you need gas?
Yeah.
When somebody found ice, they would bring you ice.
We had a neighbor up the street, which he had a tree fall on his house, and William has a chainsaw and helped him with that. One morning he just showed up with a bag of ice. It's like, yes, ice. Yeah. Yep. We love our neighbors for sure.
Yeah. Just be on the lookout for your friends and family that are still out there and they're still dealing with this because it's not over.
No.
It's unfortunately not over.
And then some of the areas in North Carolina got snow.
Yeah. So it's just like Mother Nature is just hitting them hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's go back here. Hello, Destination Fun.
Hello, Destination Fun. What did Marcia say?
The coffee is one of the ways to.
Oh, good. And Marcia was. We'll get to it, but we also had the group cruise, and Marcia's family had just so much, devastation with things going on, and they couldn't even go. They didn't get to go on the cruise with us, and I know she was really looking forward to that, but we understood that for sure.
Yeah, she said that the sons all moved into their new place.
Yay.
Yeah,
her son had to move into a new place. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Hey, Cruise Nuts. Great to see y'all.
Yep. I'm just slowing down. Destination Fun said that they're doing good, just trying to get everything unpacked and back into our routine.
Yes, Destination Fun live in Florida. Tell me if I'm wrong. And they were affected by Milton the same way. And we are definitely praying for y'all.
Meg.
Atlanta got very lucky. They had some flooding, no power for the weekend, and she was out of town when it came through. Yeah.
All right. What's next?
No, just saying that was just my slide of laundry.
That generator was used for the washing machine.
Yeah, with the generator, we started running the wash machine just to wash some stuff to hang dry, so we have some fresh clothes and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we went on the fall breaker cruise that I've been talking about for a year.
This is the brighter side.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we had four of our people that weren't able to go on it because they had such devastation, and totally understand that. But we still had some people that we had a part of our group that did get to go, and we had a great time. I felt like some of them had been through the same things that we had, and I felt like we all kind of bonded over that, and just, just to have somebody cook my meals after, dealing with all that for a week, and then having air conditioning. I appreciate that cruise a lot more than I usually appreciate a cruise. So it was nice. Mm-hmm. And our cabin, I'm going to do a tour after I finish the NCL Joy vlogs, but our cabin was amazing. We had what's called a premier balcony, and I posted this on Facebook. It might be a dark picture, but it was twice the size as a normal cabin. It was not a suite. It was just a premier balcony, and it really wasn't much difference in price than a regular balcony. I just grabbed it early because I saw it there, but it had, the balcony itself was also wider, and it had a recliner, a lounge chair, and 2 chairs. So it was really a nice cabin. And William liked it because he only had to go up the steps from our cabin to the buffet when he wanted to.
They said that there's debris everywhere down there.
Yeah, same here. And we have so many trees that are down, so many trees that our streets are just lined with trees. Our yard has debris, and all the debris is piled up all along, and
it's going to be sitting there for months.
They're saying probably November that the debris will be picked up. So the debris is just everywhere. But like I said, we have power. We're blessed. So just I can deal with debris.
Just to give perspective, the debris, there's so much on a lot of our streets that roads that usually are big enough to have 3 car widths driving up and down can only fit 1.
Yeah.
And the piles are higher than a standard SUV or truck.
It's hard to see if you're turning like at an intersection or something, and the debris is still there. Yeah. And my mom's neighborhood,
good God,
they couldn't even get in and out, which is scary because there's a lot of older people that live there and younger people, but a lot of older people that live there. And the neighbors all got together because,
they couldn't get out.
They couldn't get out. The neighbors got together, y'all, and cut up the trees and put them to the side so they can have a single way. So it's usually a double way to get out, a single way. And then one person needed an ambulance, and thank God they had just cleared one lane that they could get the ambulance in there.
They said that in the entrance, like on the entrance road, it was 74 trees down.
Yeah. The entrance to her neighborhood it looked like a nightmare. I mean, it was just horrible.
Really? They said as long as they can get an Uber through the streets. Are they going on a cruise?
I guess so. Mm-hmm. Hey, Ryan.
They said you really needed that cruise to unwind.
I really did. And
hey, Ryan.
There were many days that I just chilled and read books and the group was so understanding because a lot of us had been through it, that we did have some group activities that we planned, but they understood everybody needed downtime and we all to decompress and just enjoy the peace of it all. So.
Yeah. The one thing that I'm still adjusting to is that when I walk into a dark room, using my flashlight rather than turning on the light.
Yeah.
Are you still doing that? Because I'm still doing that.
Yeah.
It's because you were used to the darkness.
Yeah. you walk in, you think, I need to light the candle or something. But when everything was dark, I kept on walking in and turning on light switches. Yeah. Nope. I was like, darn it. Why do I turn on the light switch? Yeah.
Oh. Meep.
So this is just some, if you ever follow us on Instagram or follow me on Facebook, I like ocean pictures. So this is just some ocean pictures that I took during the cruise as I was enjoying the balcony time in the fresh air. And this is just some of the people in our crew and that was with us. And this was a picture I stole from Debbie. Debbie and Dave are on the left. I worked with Debbie for 4 years, and I love Debbie and I love Dave. And Dave worked there too. And they're both retired now. It's William and I, and then Angela. If y'all seen Angela Nemechek in the chat, Angela was just a joy. I love her. Mm-hmm. And these are just some of the people that was with us on the group cruise.
Mm-hmm. Meg said, Angela.
I know. She is just everybody was just wonderful. Such sweet people. And then while we were on the cruise, Hurricane Milton came through, and bless your hearts for y'all that are in the chat that live in Florida, because that was horrible too. I mean, I was so scared for y'all. When they said Category 5 while it was out there in the Gulf, I was like, oh my gosh.
I was just scared because it's going to be a while for everyone to recover.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, I feel so bad for the people that don't have power because we have all their linemen, basically.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, we have all their linemen.
The linemen, I mean, are heroes for sure. And they came in droves, and parking lots of businesses just filled with the linemen, and charter buses taking them to shelters, or one of our local gymnasium was a shelter not a shelter, but a place for the linemen to sleep. They set up cots and everything. But yeah, if you have a lineman in your life, they're a blessing. I mean, we are so appreciative of them. And we had the National Guard here too.
The National Guard, if it wasn't for the National Guard and the linemen, we would be in so much trouble.
So much trouble. Yeah, they're definitely heroes.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, as William used to be in the National Guard, and he was deployed every time there was like hurricanes like this. And it's a sacrifice for their families too. I'm thinking people that were affected by the storms had their linemen in their life, woman or man, having to go out and help other people. I mean, it just something.
It's crazy.
So then while we're on the cruise, we did go to Nassau, and then our ship went southeast. We were supposed to go to Princess Keys the next day. The captain didn't feel comfortable keeping us there. Plus,
understandable.
Plus the wind was kicking up pretty well, and there was no way we were going to tender from that ship to Princess Keys with that wind. So he took us southeast, and they started telling us that we may be delayed getting back to Charleston, which is understandable. We just wanted to be safe, and so as the hurricane was hitting Florida, we were heading southeast. Yeah, I had to do my directions in my head, but we can go to the next slide.
Sorry.
Praying for you, Florida. I know we have people in the chat, and the building where my company is housed was one of the 2 buildings that suffered the most damage. St. Petersburg. Oh goodness. St. Petersburg was hit extremely hard.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people need hugs, Nick. Thankfully, we're okay. But I'll always take a Nick hug.
Nick gets some good hugs, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that cool that we get to say that Nick gives good hugs?
Yes.
we met Nick. And then this was the path. This is just a picture of the path those of you that are a weather watcher like me was taking. You can see below where it says PM Thursday. That's where the Bahamas was, and that's why we ended up going southeast, just to get away from it, because we were there. We were down there Thursday and a little bit of Friday. So yeah.
Oh gosh.
And I sent this picture. Doesn't you, Hannah?
Yeah. I was like, what am I looking
at? On the TV of the crew, in the cruise cabin, it shows you the path that you take on a cruise, and that big old loop to the right is the path that the big, sort of circles, I guess, the path we took to get away from the storm for Florida. So that's why we were hanging out down there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, together we travel. Good to see y'all. And then, what you did? Oh, yes, extra time. I did finish a book while I was on the cruise ship.
Yeah.
Start a new one. Then I got to come home to these two babies, y'all. I love these two dogs, but
Really?
a little bit. But
let me tell you this. You want to hear a funny story? You want to hear a funny story?
I stay at home all day with them.
It's not about you. It's not about you.
Oh, William.
So I am watching these dogs.
Hannah watched our dogs while we were on the cruise.
Yeah, I was in between houses. I just got all my stuff back to my house. I was in between houses for like over 2 weeks. Anyways, I was watching them, and the only way to call them really is FaceTime or FaceTime audio. So I FaceTime them one morning, and I'm like,
while we're on the cruise ship,
and I'm making sure that they're okay because I'm hearing all this stuff about Milton, and I'm like, I don't know what their captain is thinking, like where they're gonna go. In my brain, I was like, they're gonna go to Maryland. They're not going to.
I told Mimi, I was like, wait, maybe we just go to New England. Start off going up that way.
But anyways, I FaceTime them just to see how they're doing. And the first thing, my father gets on the screen, and I haven't even said one word to him. He just sees my face, and he goes, "Where are my babies?" Talking about these dogs. And I looked at
the baby.
And I looked at him, and I said, "Gosh, Dad, thank you so much for asking how my day went. It was fantastic." He said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I said, "I know you forgot about me." But yeah.
So it was just nice to come. Yeah, I had to put the pictures there, but it's just nice to come home, come home to your puppies. And Hannah wasn't here when we got home. We'll talk about that. So then, the day we got home, which we get home late. Our ship, usually get off at 7, 8 o'clock, whatever. We got off at 12:31, 1. It wasn't bad at all. But I will say, when we were coming back from that southeast area on Friday,
you're rocking,
and I have full faith in the captain. He did the best thing he could do, but he hugged Florida coming up, and when we got in the back end of that storm, it was like, and I woke up and I felt it, and I said, "William, I'm taking a Dramamine. Do you want a Dramamine?" "No, I feel fine." I was like, I feel fine right now, but I'm taking one as a preventative. Do you want a Dramamine? No, I said, okay. So I take my Dramamine. I actually went outside. Hannah would have died because she hates when I'm on the balcony and it's just rough.
Oh my gosh.
I went outside.
My fear is dying in open water.
I went outside and I loved it. With my Dramamine, I was good. And I was outside on the balcony in the lounge chair, finishing my book. And I come back in, and he is like spread airplane face down on the bed. "I'm afraid to move. I feel like we'll get sick. Do you want to Dramamine now?" "Yeah."
He's a hard-headed man.
He is hard-headed. So I was good, but walking down those hallways, I was literally there's a rail. I was literally doing this. Trying to walk down the hall. Where I landed? At the casino, because I knew I could sit down for a while. So I sat there and played at the casino for a little bit.
See, I'm really bad because I'm like, I want to have the door open to the balcony, but I don't like being on the balcony. It's not my favorite thing.
So Tana, talk about your trip.
I went to Blue Ridge.
I went to Blue Ridge.
I went to Blue Ridge the day that they were coming back. I left with Jarrell, and back in 2020, in December of 2020, we wanted to get away, but be away from people at the same time because
not you and Jarrell.
No, we as in
the family.
Mom, Dad, Jarrell was not available. Mom, Dad, Mimi.
Yeah.
And so we went to a cabin in Blue Ridge, actually Cherry Log, and it is a cabin that's on the mountainside. You got to go up, and it faces out on a hidden lake. And so you get the benefit of the mountains, the forest, and the lake. And so we've loved that place, and we always said that we wanted to go back. And Jarrell was like, "I want to go on vacation, but I don't want to do anything." And I said, "Okay, let's go to Blue Ridge." So
you went to the same cabin.
We went to the same cabin, a nice fire every day. Got to look out. Cooked in the cabin. Went to apple orchards. Didn't pick apples because the wind was cutting. And went thrift shopping. Supported local businesses and ate at a nice Southern food restaurant.
Got lots of rest.
Got a lot of rest.
Yeah. So, if you can, after going through a natural disaster, go on vacation if you can.
If you can.
It was nice for both of us to get away and just breathe for a little bit and then come home. And when I came home, all the debris was there. It was like it wasn't touched. I just felt so bad. I was like, I left this and came home. Not felt bad for myself, but just felt bad for the community that they just
still had it
all sitting there. Yeah.
And we drove from North Georgia down, and we drove back through the back roads and just seeing like all these beautiful like farmlands and everything. And then once you got to a certain area, you just saw the trees down.
Mary Ellen says she's been to Blue Ridge. Did you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Look, I know Marsha. Her son got married in Blue Ridge. That's a beautiful place to get married.
It's stunning.
If you think of Hallmark towns, that little the town part of it,
like Christmas movie Hallmark.
Yeah, it has the train that takes you through the mountains. I mean, it's just a Hallmarky kind of place.
It has a lot of small businesses and everything.
Yeah.
I will have to say I have a funny story to tell you.
Okay.
To liven the mood. It's funny to me.
Yeah.
So on our checkout day of the cabin, Jarrell and I like ran around and we like went to go pick up some gifts at the orchard. We went back to the orchard and got people some stuff, and then we like got ice for the coolers for leftover food. Just did some errands around town, and then he looked at me. He's like, I want breakfast. I'm like, okay, we can go to Waffle House. We have nowhere to be. We just need to get home before dark. So we're sitting in Waffle House and we're waiting, and I see this table in this booth over here, like 4 guys. And they're not talking. And they're like younger guys. They're like mid-20s, maybe late 20s. They're not talking. And then I just see this one guy stand up and he goes to pay their bill. And I just see this one guy just leave and go to the parking lot.
They're not talking.
They're not talking. And the waitress goes, tell your friend I hope he feels better. And I look, and this boy is hanging out of the car.
No,
and she goes, and when they all leave, she goes, one of the other waitresses goes, why'd you tell him he hopes his friend is better? She goes, do you not see him? He goes, it's his bachelorette. His bachelor weekend.
Oh, his bachelor weekend.
They were all hungover.
I thought he was like just sick. No. He did it to himself.
He did it to himself. And I'm just dying laughing.
I don't know if I'd want to go have Waffle House. I felt like that.
That's why they were all silent. And he just
trying to eat.
They didn't have any food, and they had to get food because you can't recover from a hangover.
So they're making themselves eat.
Yeah. He's just sitting like this, trying not to be sick. It's just so funny. There we go. FYI, tomorrow starts the Hallmark countdown to Christmas with new Hallmark movies.
Oh, how about that?
William Reese will be a happy man.
Mary Ellen she used to live north of Atlanta. How about that? So she's a Southern belle?
That is the most Waffle House thing I've heard in a while. I was wondering why they weren't talking because they were all sick.
Everybody said about it right here. They're like, we know it's been a bad storm because all the Waffle Houses are closed.
One of our Waffle Houses had a tree
on
top of it. And I'm just like, I mean, our community needed like 2 days to recover, like where people didn't have to go into work. At least.
Yeah. And we were fortunate that we did get like internet back, but there's a lot of people that work from home. After the CocoRoRo happened, a lot of people work remotely, and there's still people here that don't have their internet to go to work remotely. Like, and it's Xfinity, Comcast, something like that.
I'm very thankful for my job.
AT&T.
Everybody was just very much team players at art, because art, the place I work at, is a small business.
It makes you humble.
Yeah, but everybody was team players, and people who were out of town worked twice as hard. And then the people who were still in town were just hoping and praying.
Is that the last slide? I think it is. Is it? Nope. Oh, yeah, we just wanted, I put that on there. I was like, now I want to know how everybody is. I mean, I hope that, I know a lot of people in the chat were affected. I know, I don't want to start naming names because I'm not sure how bad everybody was affected, but I know we got Florida friends, we got
North Carolina,
North Carolina, Tennessee.
Georgia.
We had Ronnie and Alma from Life is Good today, and Ellie Mae and Dalton with us, and they had some remnants of it too in North Carolina. So I just hope y'all are all doing okay, especially those that had family affected or you personally was affected. I hope that that we are fine. We are just absolutely fine. We're actually very appreciative, I guess, of our community, appreciative of the lessons we've learned through all this, and we're good. So, but I hope y'all are doing good.
Always keep a case of water in your house. Jesus.
Flush the toilet. That
was the hardest thing.
when you realized you had no water. You're like, I'm coming over.
Keep a case of bottled water in your house.
Yeah.
Like, geez Louise. And toilet paper. Keep toilet paper in your house.
We had lots of toilet paper.
Well, I'm just saying some people did it.
I live with William Reese. William Reese is going to have lots of toilet paper.
And then I had Mimi over here going, there's no more bottles of water. Drink out of the tap, Linda. That's what we got to do.
Toughen up, Buttercup.
Dadgummit.
Mimi had to be humbled so quickly.
Okay, so fun fact, Meg, I did that because our water area, like our water whatever.
The bathtub upstairs.
Yeah, the water area, I don't know what it's called. What is it? The water facility. They were running off of generators.
Yeah,
and we didn't know if they were going to have to stop.
Yeah, they kept on putting a thing on Facebook like, please conserve water because we're running on generators.
So Hannah runs the bathtub upstairs.
She didn't conserve water.
I did. I ran the bathtub upstairs and filled it up with clean water. What happens? You have a leak in the stopper and all the water was gone in 24 hours. That wasn't on me.
Yeah. It used to be your bathroom, though.
Ma'am, I haven't been here for years. Like, I lived here for years.
Hey, Jeremy. Good to see you. I hope y'all are doing well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I have extra water from them. Just always.
From our last cruises.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. If there's a major storm coming up, make sure you have water, you have non-perishable food, you have gas in your car.
Gas in your car.
Big thing. Gas in your car. Toilet paper, and you just pray and make sure everybody is okay.
I know William started making William started making a list of things that he needs to keep at the house, lessons he's learned. And I know one was he had a 1.5 tanks of propane. And he says he will always have 2 tanks of propane full for the Blackstone. He wants to get a generator. That's going to come down the line. We have a wedding this year. Yeah. Always have bottled water for sure.
Mm-hmm. It just made us realize so many things.
Yeah, because once we got, Jarrell works out of town about an hour away, 45 minutes away. And so the area he works in had grocery stores available. So he got us 2 things of water. And that was really nice. We really appreciated that to have, because sometimes a lot of the ones are saying boil your water and all that stuff. I'm like, half these people have electric stoves.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're okay. Just keep everybody who's still affected in your thoughts and prayers, because we have a long road until everyone has recovered.
Yeah. So thank y'all so much for watching. We promise we'll be we try to stay a little lighthearted with it. But we promise next week will be go back trivia and do some fun stuff. We will not be here. We're not demanding y'all again for a month. Knock on some wood. We're going. Halloween falls on a Thursday, and we like to give out candy and stuff in our neighborhood. And
do you know us?
Do you know how much Hannah loves Halloween?
Yes.
So we will not be live streaming on Halloween, but we will be here next week. And Hannah's in charge of trivia.
Woo! Lovey's Fat Life is coming up in less than a minute,
and probably Beach Please at 9, I'm guessing. But yes, please stay tuned for them, and we appreciate y'all. And we love y'all.
Yeah. Well, we hope that you all stay safe out there. this one hits harder.
No.
You all stay safe out there. Stay healthy. And don't forget to journey on.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.